Greetings and welcome to our Raising Readers workshop. My name is Yelva Jones and I'm the founder of the Reading Initiative. Thank you for stopping by today. What's our mission? You may not have heard much about us. We are a relatively new organization, 501c3 organization that exists to help develop literacy skills in low-income children. We also seek to increase reading achievement for students in all grades and to increase caregivers' involvement in the literacy development of children. And so our Raising Readers campaign exists in three buckets. We have three components of our campaign for this summer. One is the Caregivers Workshop, and that's what you are participating right now in virtually. We're so excited about it. And this is where we provide information to you about early literacy or literacy for all children. We're providing resources at these workshops. And so there'll be an opportunity at the end of this presentation for you to participate in a giveaway that we have up and coming. We also provide books through book distributions, where we host frequent community distribution events, and we'll be doing a pop-up next week. So check out our Facebook, Instagram, or website for information about that. We want children to be able to build a library in their homes. And then finally, through community partnerships, we're partnering with schools and churches and other organizations to bring more resources to families around literacy. So Raising Readers, we decided to call our campaign this summer Raising Readers. And this series is a series of presentations where we seek to encourage reading at home and to empower families with strategies and access to tools to help children meet reading success. And so let's get into it. I want to share this trailer because this trailer was the genesis of the Raising Readers campaign for this summer. Check out just a little bit of this documentary and we'll talk a little bit about it afterwards.
Millions of American kids struggle to read.
We should succeed in seeing that every 8-year-old can read independently.
When I first started teaching in Oakland, there were only 2 kids in my class of 35 who could read.
Larry ran to the cat.
My man Larry, I'm gonna say this right now on tape. My man Larry just read his first sentence by himself, and I'm very, very proud of him.
We have a lot of people who struggle to read. Why aren't we screaming and yelling about this?
In 35 years, we have gone backwards, not forwards.
It is a national problem that cuts across demographics, but it's painted as a minority issue.
For as long as I can ever remember, I've wanted to be a teacher.
This school is the lowest performing in reading in the district.
So this is a civil rights issue. We're really trying to figure out how to get Oakland kids to read.
Reading is everything. That's the foundation to everything in this life.
It has been said that illiteracy is one of the most solvable issues of our time.
What letter is it?
Why?
Yeah.
Everybody deserves the right to read. Literacy is for all.
We want to make sure that all students have the opportunity to be with a teacher who has learned the science of reading in order to crack the code of reading.
Question is today, do we have the political will and do we have the moral courage and fortitude to use literacy as a vehicle to include all? This is social justice.
Okay, so when I saw the entire documentary, I had so many feelings about it. I am a middle school teacher. I have raised African American children, and I understand the power of literacy and the access that it gives you to resources in life, and how literacy empowers you to have to be able to produce for your family, to be able to be a support for your community. And so this video that was played, and then the documentary in its totality kind of it just sparked a fire inside of me to make sure that as a teacher, as an organization, as an advocate for literacy, that I'm doing everything that I can to support children, but not only to support children, but to support families, because there is a reading crisis in this country. You can look at the statistics that are on the screen right now and see that a lot of children are being failed. And so we know the issues. If you watch the news, anytime there is a report on education or schools, it's negative, right? There's a negative connotation to it. There's a negative report. Well, we know what the issues are. We know what the trouble is. And so I am solutions oriented, right? I want to provide a solution to what's going on. And so, one of the things that we want to do is to help you as caregivers, as parents and guardians, as family members, as daycare providers, and anyone who is working with children, and you're not in the educational system, but you just want to do your part. Check out this video. It will give a little more information about how the brain works to access reading. So check this out.
What do we know about the complex process of learning to read? Surprisingly, a lot. Scientific research collected over the past 4 decades reveals what happens in the brain and what must happen in the classroom to enable skillful reading. Most children learn to walk and talk naturally without a lot of support from adults. But reading is different. Reading is not hardwired in the brain, and the neural pathways involved must be developed through successful instructional experiences. Let's look at the reading brain. The parts of the brain that allow us to process sounds and recognize visual images are already in place at birth in the left hemisphere. However, the phonological assembly region is not intact at birth. This is the part of the brain that allows us to connect speech sounds with visual images, such as letters, and enables reading. And it must be built through explicit, systematic phonics instruction and practice with decoding.
Okay, so in order to increase reading achievement, we need to do what the Reading Initiative is all about. We need to increase children's access to books. Schools are working with children to ensure that they receive explicit reading instruction. And expose children to experiences that increase their knowledge of the world around them, therefore building their language and vocabulary skills. So the anatomy of a reader. This Philadelphia company organization, Read by Fourth, is an organization that is providing resources and knowledge and connecting folks, doing all kinds of support to families and communities around ensuring that students are reading fluently by the grade of 4. And so when we're talking about all of the skills and knowledge that a child needs as they are becoming a confident reader, we're talking about building their vocabulary and background knowledge. This doesn't just happen in schools. This is happening in your home as you're talking to children, as you're experiencing different things in life, as you're grocery shopping, having conversations, constant conversations, and helping children make connections to the things around them. Phonological awareness and phonics. This is and letter and word recognition, learning what the letters of the alphabet are, being able to recognize them, and then to also understand that those letters make sounds, and then putting those sounds together to form words. Children need to understand print, have a print awareness where they can hold a book and understand that the book has pages and that you flip the pages in order to read the content on the pages. And then we want students to become fluent readers. We want them to have a level of speed and accuracy and expression that is on grade level, where though they can begin to understand what they've read. Fluent readers develop really strong comprehension skills. And then finally, we want children to be motivated to read. I'm going to share some strategies at the end of this presentation. If you have some readers in your home who aren't motivated or who are, lack engagement with reading, they say they don't like to read. So just going to share a few strategies at the end of this presentation to support those students. So from infancy through preschool, we have several strategies that you can implement in your home. And these strategies are not for schools. We're talking about what everyday adults, caregivers, siblings, and other relatives can do with children to help them develop those emergent literacy skills. And we're calling this learning language through adult talk. And so one of the things we strongly recommend is that you develop a library at home. If you check out our website after this presentation, there'll be some locations where you can access free books if you want to develop a library at home, but definitely take your children to the library. Reading aloud daily, taking 10, 15, 20 minutes to read to your child. And this is infancy through preschool, just reading out loud so that children can hear the words and make the pictures in their minds. The next one, let your child discuss the pictures on the page. So even though a child may not be able to read yet, they can certainly, at the age of 2 and up, create stories based on the pictures that they see on the pages. This is where they're using their imagination. And that's what good readers do. They use their imagination while they're reading. Definitely teach the letters of the alphabet and the sounds that the letters make. And you can do this in a variety of ways. One way that we listed here is to play an alphabet game. We'll also link in some other ways on our website that you can teach children letter sounds and then teach them the sounds that the letters make as well. All right, learning to read. We're still learning to read in K through 3rd grade, still reading every day, discussing those stories. Students are reading high frequency sight words. They're practicing those words, identifying those words. This is the stage where you're talking more about unknown vocabulary words. And then you're working on encouraging that fluency, that speed, that accuracy, that expression when you read. In grades 4 through 8, there's a shift that takes place where students are not necessarily learning to read because they should have mastered all the skills to read fluently. Now they're reading to learn. They're reading to learn the world around them. They're reading for entertainment purposes and just to enjoy literacy. And so here are some strategies for that. You always want to check for the students' understanding of what they've read. Students can summarize what they have read, what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. They can tell you what was the story mostly about and give you some details about that. This is where you as a caregiver should be finding out your child's reading level and their interests so that they can choose books based on their interest. Because another strategy to engage students who are reluctant to read is to let them choose their own books. Read books that have become movies and then compare the two. That's a great strategy for having students engage in reading. And then at this age, we definitely want to encourage children to write something about what they've read, to keep a log of what they've read and their reactions and their feelings. They can write about the characters and what the characters are feeling and thinking, and They can change the ending to stories through their writing. There's so many things and so many ways to engage in writing with our children as they're learning to read. Also, said I would share some strategies on engaging reluctant readers. We definitely want to give children choice in what they are reading, make reading fun, incorporate some kind of movement with reading, hands-on activities, maybe even a craft that students can go. You can do a search on the internet for the book that you're reading with your child and find some cool activities. They're all out there. Attend or even host a literacy event. The library, the public library, is a great resource for activities that are surrounding literacy. I remember there were summers that I didn't work as I was raising my children, and we didn't have a whole lot of money, and the library events were free. So we would just look at the calendar at the libraries, and we would hit up a library this week, a library next week. And throughout the summer, my children were always engaged in a free activity at the library. You could also even sponsor a book club or look for a book club. And then finally, graphic novels are the thing today, and it's a great way to engage older readers in literacy. The comic aspect, the images, great way to encourage reading for children. So thank you for listening to this quick talk today. This was a very brief talk about our campaign, sharing about, the crisis with reading, and then what we plan to do to help support, and then empowering you as caregivers in helping our children destroy the statistics in the reading crisis and bring those confident reading skills to our children. And so we have some giveaways. We want to have these 2 challenges that we have up and coming. We'll have more, but we want to offer some free books and some free resources to families. And so one way that you can get some free books to add to your library at home and to add some reading materials, some flashcards and things like that for your child is to send us a video. You can do a TikTok or video, or you can take a picture of your child or your children doing something really fun with reading. It can be in a library, it could be in your home, wherever you may be engaging in reading with your child. Send it to us via the Reading Initiative Maryland MD at gmail.com. It's on the screen here, or you can tag us on Facebook or Instagram, and there is our Instagram, Facebook link at Reading Initiative. Or you could choose one of the reading groups that I featured in this presentation. So preschool, you could choose kindergarten to 3rd grade, or 4th through 8th grade, those 3 areas. You could email us the strategies for engaging readers from this presentation and email that to us. And then you'll be entered to win some cool reading resources for your child or your children. We're going to post all the winners on Facebook and Instagram on July 10th. So make sure you get your entries in by July 9th. Thank you again for being with us today. I, again, am Yelva Jones, and I am the founder of Reading Initiative. Stay connected with us, like and follow us on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. You can always check out our website, readinginitiative.org, or you can always email us, thereadinginitiativemd@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and let's keep reading.